guess which bitch stepped her game up and got herself an actual ring light? It me, bitch! Oh yeah! I am very excited to have an actual ring light. It's not like the best ring light ever, but it is better than the little clip-on one that I was using, and the quality is actually really great. You probably can't tell that I have a ring light on, but if I turn it off, it's a world of difference. It's awesome. Gasp! You can see all of my imperfections. It's fabulous. Anyway, all exciting ranting aside, hi! Welcome back. I am back with another bad fanfiction reading. I am trying to plow through these now that I have time to do it. Side note, it's raining and you're probably gonna hear a lot of dripping outside, so I apologize. Also, my neighbors have a very, very loud child, so you might hear screaming too. Nothing I can do about either of those, but I wanted to take the time today to make a video because I haven't done one in a while. Like I said before, I have been inundated with making TikToks and working on cosplay stuff. So we are going to do a bad fanfiction reading today. So who's up for some more exciting adventures of our hero, Naomi, and her ragtag bunch misfits? When we last found our hero, Naomi, so Narissa separated from her and is living in Zalgo's domain, and Naomi tried to convince her to come back and be with her in her domain because without her, she's just regular old serial killer Naomi instead of regular old Dark Angel Naomi. And oh god, I don't even remember what happened. Like, she did some killing. She and Masky found out that there is an author who is, it's really meta because the author that is in the story is the author of the story, and they're reading this book about some killers, one of which is a baker who transforms people into pastries, and then they graphically torture and kill and cut up this girl to make into a pastry or make into cupcakes or something. The next couple of chapters basically are like, there's like some story, but it's mostly just leading up to the party. Oh my god, party time, excellent. So I'm gonna skim through a few parts that are like important, but you know, you folks know how these videos go. Like, if you've gotten this far, if you have gotten this far, like I keep saying, props to you, because I didn't think I would get this far, so I'm glad that you are all along on the ride with me. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Chapter 16. The next morning, I got out of bed and ran to the kitchen and pulled my special ingredient from the fridge. Human meat. Yup. I ran around the kitchen and rummaged through the pantry looking for the cake mixes. I looked around and in my peripheral vision, saw they were on the top shelf, which is way out of my reach. I dragged a stool over to the pantry and climbed on top of it. I cursed under my breath. Still not tall enough, I muttered. I grabbed a few large cookbooks, stacked them up, and stood on them. I was just a few feet away. How short is she? / how tall are these fucking shelves? Good lord. Gosh dang it, I yelled. Again, the whole, we can describe torturing somebody in graphic detail, but oh no, swearing, bad. Gosh dang it. She keeps like stacking books up onto the counter and like trying to reach up where she needs to go, and she falls and Simon catches her and she's like, oh hey, thanks. And then Simon's like, oh, hey, there's somebody in the living room waiting for you, and it's Masky. And Masky's talking to Joshua, and they start baking. I hope the cake and the frosting mask the taste of flesh, I said, cleaning up everything. And then Masky nods and pulls out a bottle. What's that? I asked. Medicine that makes me normal. Well, myself, he said. I looked at him. Who are you without the mask? I asked. He shrugged. I just take them to keep the urges at bay when I'm around a large group of people, he said. I nodded, understanding the situation. I usually down the entire bottle, he said. Are you sure that's okay? I asked. Yeah, don't worry about it, he said. I sighed. The oven beeped. Usually downing a whole bottle of psychotropic pills is not a good way to... whatever. So they finish making the cupcakes, they frost them with different flavors of icing, and they walk back to the living room. On the way, they noticed 2 large wooden doors. Has this always been here? I asked out loud. Masky stopped. Want to check it out? I asked. Why not? He said. I pushed open the door and stopped in my tracks. The room was gigantic. Is this a giant ballroom? Masky asked. Looks like it, I said. We walked inside the room. The floor was polished and spotless. At the other end of the room was a grand piano. I looked up and saw a large chandelier. This is beautiful, I said. I felt something tug at my heart. I frowned. The room started to change. There were people in it now. A lot of people. They were all just in old English clothes. I saw myself and Joshua as little kids with a lady that looked like me, only older. I'm guessing it was my mom. All of a sudden, the light started flickering and shadows crept across the floor. I knew this all too well. The shadows formed into a man, Demon Lord Zalgo to be exact. Who the fuck else would it be at this point in the book? Oh my god. His eyes were deep red, he had fangs, red and black horns on his head, and his body seemed to have mouths on it. Alright, this must be his true form, I thought. No one seemed to be panicking. Then I noticed something. Some of the people's shadows were large and hazy like mine used to get when I was mad, but some didn't. These people are all demons and angels, I muttered. Hello, Elizabeth. It's been a while, Zalgo said. Elizabeth, where have I heard that name before, I thought. Zalgo, you are not welcome here, my mother said. That's probably where you've heard that name before, Naomi, if she's your mom. But, I feel that I am. You have something I want. What could you possibly want from me? Yeah. Okay, so apparently, in exchange for her firstborn child, Zalgo saved their mom from death. Lucky for me, it seems that you've had twins, Zalgo said. There is a firstborn out of twins. You know, someone has to come out first, but I guess she overlooked that detail. It's true, I did say I would give you my firstborn child, my mom said. Zalgo walked over. I sense that they have a great power stored in them, Zalgo said. He took my wrist and I screamed as Joshua tried to pull me away from him. Suddenly, a blast of light hit Zalgo straight on. I will not allow you to harm the prince and princess, a boy yelled. I looked over and saw a young boy around my young self's age with red hair and green eyes. He had an eye patch over one eye. I shook my head to try and clear it. Prince and princess, my mind yelled. Blah, 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 blah. All will be revealed when you're older. I don't want to leave you. Now it is time for me to meet my destiny. Are you? The mom and Zalgo start fighting. She separates them. Like, Simon takes Joshua, and the kid with the red hair and the eye patch takes Naomi. They're basically gonna start fighting, and Zalgo's like, are you watching? You can save everyone by giving yourselves up, or you can watch your mom die. And then Joshua is like, we need to, like, fuse into, like, an angel form to save mom. We've only done it once. Can we do it again? Through the power of darkness and light, we, the prince and princess, summoned the great dark angel, I cried. The light that emitted from the crystals, like necklaces, was blinding. When it finally faded, there was an angel with a golden helmet, shield and staff, golden blonde hair, and shining armor. You will no longer plague this world, Zalgo. We now banish you back to the shadows from which you came, the angel said. Blah, 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 blah. Zalgo was like, I will have the last kill. You cannot hide forever. I'll find you both. Summons a demon sword, plunges it into the mother's heart, and yeah, I know I kind of skimmed over it, but it's a little bit, it's backstory, but I don't know, it's, the gist of it is basically Zalgo saved the mom from death in exchange for her firstborn children, typical demon contract, and then she's like, no, I'm gonna fight you, and that never really goes well, I found. Something always goes awry, and she ends up dying anyway. Apparently Naomi has blacked out, and she screams, Mom, no! Sitting up in bed, and Joshua and Masky were there with her in her room. You're okay, Masky said. I stared at Joshua. He seemed to understand. You saw it too, he asked. I nodded. When did you see it, I asked. As soon as Tim came to get me, I collapsed and witnessed everything at the same time you did, Joshua said. We've got to stop Zalgo, I said. Joshua nodded. Oh, one of you please explain what's going on, Masky asked. I told him everything. He looked at us both and didn't say anything. We'll figure all this out later, but now it's party time, Joshua said. What? How long was I out? I yelled, rushing to my closet. A long time, Masky said. Go get ready. I'll see you two there, I said, shooing them out. I dressed and put on my boots. I stuck my knives in the secret compartment on my boots and ran down the steps, brushing my hair. I ran into the kitchen and grabbed the cupcakes. They already had frosting on them. Thanks, Simon, I said, running from the kitchen past him. He smiled. I swallowed a bit of the potion, grabbed the keys to my bike, and sped to the school. And now we're on chapter 17. So, party time, one of the next biggest events leading up to the band battle. Are you guys excited about the band battle? I know I am. So she gets to the school, parks, and runs up to the band room where everyone's meeting people. And then they're like, oh, we need to put on some makeup. And then she's like, I don't do makeup. And then blush and lip gloss. Lip gloss. Also, isn't Naomi supposed to be like dark and spooky? Like, doesn't she do eyeshadow or eyeliner? They're gonna straighten her hair. Apparently they can, like, with like this gaggle of girls, they can straighten her hair, put on her makeup in 5 minutes. I don't know how much hair Naomi has, but like, you can't really see how much hair I have, but I'm pretty sure you get the idea. But it's like, I have a lot of fucking hair, and it takes me like 5 minutes just to straighten like this piece alone. Like, also I have like freshly showered hair, so it's like mega curly. So apparently they ordered a limo. Leah's like, I've only been in one of these things once, and Naomi's like, I haven't been in one at all. The limo started up down the street. What's in the box? Okay, so she's like feeding the cupcakes that are like made of people to her bandmates. And I feel like if she told them, oh, you can't have these, they're like special cupcakes, it might like arouse like some sort of suspicion. But like, I feel like giving cupcakes made out of people to her bandmates is kind of insidious and kind of creepy and weird, especially since she's trying to hide her true serial killer demon form self from them so badly. I don't know. It's just that kind of rubbed me the wrong way when I first read this. Apparently they're delicious. Oh, hey, I just remembered, tomorrow is the big day, June said as she munched away on a cupcake. Big day? I asked. The girls turned their heads shocked. I giggled. I know it's the band battle, I said. Jade sighed. Oh, great sense of humor, Naomi. Phew, I thought you had forgotten, June said. I would never let you guys down. I've been practicing my heart away, I said. The girls smiled. It's going to be so awesome, Leah squealed. The limo pulled up into a driveway where we'd hear blasting music. We hopped out of the limo. Hey, girls, a deep voice said. Hey, Nate, June said excitedly. Nate smiled. You look nice, Jade said. You picked this out. I look like a vampire, which suits me very well, Nate said. Oh my god. I look like a vampire. It suits me really well. They're so cute, June said, sighing. No, fuck you, Jade. So then they meet up with Milo, which is June's date. She introduces Milo to everybody. Is Joshua coming? Leah asked. I'm sure he is. He wouldn't stand up such a nice girl like you, I said, hugging her. She smiled as a black sports car drove up. That's him, I said. That's a really nice car, Leah said. Yeah, it is, I said. Joshua walked over. His usual messy hair was combed and he was wearing a suit. Hey, bro, I said. Hey, he said. He looked at Leah and smiled. Hey, Leah, you look great, he said. Leah smiled. Thanks, she said. Joshua took Leah's hand and they walked to the door. Before they walked in, Leah turned around and mouthed the words, thank you, to me. I smiled and sighed. Where is everyone? I asked out loud. Well, what do we have here? A voice said. I turned to see Grace with Jeff. What do you want, Grace? I asked. Don't have a date? She asked. I do, I said. Then where is he? Grace asked. Before I could answer, a voice yelled. Hey, yo, Naomi! Ben yelled from the window of a black limo. I smiled and yelled back. Hey, dude, I yelled. Ben jumped out of the limo and headed for the door. Jack, Sally, Toby, Masky, Hoodie, Lou, Kendi, and Clayton all got out. Masky walked over. Hey, Tim, I said, using his real name. Hey, Naomi, he said. Grace looked beaten. You've got good tastes in boys, Naomi. I'll give you that, but only that, Grace said. She then noticed the box I was holding. You gonna try to steal Masky away too? Wouldn't surprise me. What's that? She asked skeptically. Cupcakes. Want to try one? I asked. She narrowed her eyes, but reluctantly took one and took a small bite. Her eyes lit up a bit. It's not bad, she turned. Come on, Jeff, she said, dragging him away. She treats him like a dog. I don't know how he puts up with it, Masky said. I shrugged. Who cares anyway, I said. I turned to see a girl with Bluetooth headphones around her neck. She was carrying a large black bag. She wore a black skirt and a red blouse. She walked up to the door. Sally ran over to her. Hi, I'm Sally, she said. The girl seemed frightened that Sally was talking to her. Hi, the girl said. Sally took her hand and pulled her inside the house. Sally has never met a stranger, I said. Masky nodded. Where's Silver? I asked. You didn't know? Masky asked. I shook my head. Ben told me the other day he went back inside your game, he said. Oh, I said sadly. We walked inside the house. I set my box of cupcakes on the table that held the rest of the food. They're just catching up. They're like, hi, is this your boyfriend? Jade asks. She nods. Where are the, everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. Some of the boys are upstairs playing video games. And they're like, hey, let's go dance. Masky tries one of the cupcakes. He says that it's amazing. And yes. We walked around for a bit and walked upstairs where the boys were playing video games. Then we walked back downstairs and out onto the patio. The girl with the black bag was sitting in a chair with a laptop. Hoodie was out there looking at the pool. Hey, Brian, I said, using Hoodie's real name. He waved. We walked over. What are you doing out here by yourself? I asked. I'm following her, he said. You should go talk to her, dude, Masky said. Yeah, it is a little late, but you should ask her to be your date, I said. Hoodie nodded and walked over. The girl looked up from her computer. I smiled. All right, who could this girl be? Let's go back inside, Masky said. I followed him inside. Grace was up on the makeshift stage playing with a few girls. Her new band members, I thought. People were dancing to her music. My band members walked over. We do have a chance, right? Jade asked. At this point, if they don't win the band battle, like, that would be like the plot twist of the fucking century if they like didn't win the band battle. Hello, everyone, Grace said. I watched her. I know you all adore me and my music, but why don't we let Naomi and her band play a little something for us, Grace said. Everyone cheered. I looked at Leah. She shrugged. We walked up onto the stage and took our designated places. You can use my guitar, Grace said with a sickening sweet smile. I returned it with a malicious one. Thanks. I'll be sure not to smash it too hard, I said. She laughed. Oh, Naomi, you're hilarious, she said, walking away. I watched her leave and trailed her till she was leaning against a wall on the other side of the room. I looked back at the girls. What song should we do? I asked. You choose, June said. I nodded. All right, guys, so we'll be playing two of my favorite songs, and they are Crazy by Icebreaker and Monster by Skillet. Little side note, I actually listened to that song, Monster, and I'm like, I could definitely see high school Mia being very, very into this kind of music. It has like that kind of nu metal kind of vibe to it. Sort of like if you took like the Xyz and Saliva and kind of merged them together and that's kind of how I feel like it. They're not like as poppy as the Xyz, if any of you know who they are. They were like one of my favorite bands back in high school, but like Saliva is like a bit like more of like the rock kind of aspect of it, but it's like if those two bands kind of merged together, that was what this band sounds like. Anyway, I feel like I'm like racing through this video or like these chapters, but at this point, like I keep saying, I just kind of want to get this done. So they're doing Crazy by Icebreaker and Monster by Skillet. I nodded at Jade to tap out the tempo. This was a crazy fast song, but we could do it. I moved along with the song, singing loudly. Everyone danced along. The song ended, everyone cheered loudly. Who here thinks they're a monster? I asked. Ben and Toby's hands instantly shut up. Everyone over here is, they yelled. Motioning to the rest of the family, I snickered. Good, anyone else? I asked. A hand went up. I recognized it was the girl with the laptop. You come on up here, I said. Everyone clapped as she made her way to the stage and climbed up. Tell me why you think you're a monster. Oh, and tell me your name, I said. She took the microphone. Well, I'm Nicole, and the reason I'm a monster is because I have a very demented mind that I express through my typing. 3 guesses who this could be, everybody. Very nice, my friend. Would you like to sing with the band? I asked. Her eyes went wide. Really? She asked. Really, I said. She nodded happily. She handed her back to Hoodie, who was at the edge of the stage. Nicole walked over and stood by Leah. Leah smiled and gave her room on the microphone. And now, Monster by Skillet, cover done by Queens of Insanity, I said. The crowd went wild. Jade clicked her sticks and I played the beginning riff. You all know this, so sing along, I yelled. Does everybody know it? I don't know. I noticed Jeff had gotten close to the stage and was staring at me. He had a concerned look on his face and was pointing up at up to the ceiling. I ignored him and kept playing. Everyone sang along. What do you feel like? I yelled. I feel like a monster! The crowd yelled. Yeah! I cheered. Towards the end of the song, I heard a loud creaking noise over the music. I ended the song with a blasting chord and everyone went crazy. The creaking got louder. I looked up to see a large bucket tipping over right where I was standing. That's what Jeff was trying to tell me. The next thing I knew, Jeff had pushed me out of the way and the bucket tipped over, spilling its contents over him. Some girls screamed and one fainted. Leah and Nicole helped me up. Are you okay? Leah asked. Yeah, I said. A metallic smell wafted through my nose. Nicole had this big smile on her face. Is that what I think it is? June asked. It's blood, Nicole said, a little too happily. Jeff wiped his face. All right, so she's referencing Carrie. I gotta give her props for referencing the classics. Are you okay, Naomi? You didn't get any on you, did you? Jeff asked. I shook my head. Thanks for the rescue, I said. Jeff grabbed the microphone. I want everyone to know that it was Grace who set that trap up, trying to pull a freaking stunt from the movie Carrie. I've about had it with you picking on Naomi. So you know what, Grace? It's over and I'm breaking up with you, Jeff said. He dropped the mic, hopped off the stage, and left through the front door. It was quiet. Then a few people started clapping till a roar of cheers spread through the house. I took the guitar off and threw it into the pool of blood. I looked at Grace, who was about ready to destroy something. Her hand smashed into the food table, hitting the punch bowl. The bowl flew up and spilled punch all over her white dress. Oh my god, this is so self-serving. This whole book is so self-serving, but this is like... And that is why you never mess with the Queens of Insanity, I yelled at her. Karma, Nicole yelled. You're really cool, I said to her. She smiled. Not as cool as you, she said. I hugged her. Oh my goodness. And then she says, I think Brian is waiting for you, I said, pointing over to Hoodie. She hopped off the stage and ran over to him. Great job, Masky said. I turned around and jumped off the stage into his arms. I wonder how long it took Grace to come up with that plan. I mean, it was just blood. I've been covered in it a lot of other times, I said. Masky busted out laughing. Sally and the others walked over. Hey, where'd Jack go? I asked. He flipped when he smelled the blood and took off to eat, Clayton said. I'm glad he didn't kill anyone here, I said. Everyone nodded. I smacked Ben and Toby on the back. And you two, wisecracking everything I was saying up there was hilarious, I said. Ben laughed. I know, I'm great, Toby said. Lori walked over. I narrowed my eyes at her. Masky, Ben, and Toby shielded me. Call your guards up, Jansen, Lori said, taking a few steps back. Relax, guys. What do you want? I asked. I'm sorry about what Grace did, and I'm sorry to say I helped her with it, Lori said. I frowned. Apology not accepted, I said. I didn't expect you to, but for the sake of it, I hope you win the battle tomorrow, she said, leaving. I shook my head. And then she's like, hey, who wants to dance? And then Naomi's like, I'm so glad I met you guys. We're glad you met us too. We're like, oh, I hope tomorrow goes well. Let's hope they don't have anything in the rafters. So everyone starts leaving. People invite her and Masky to go see a movie. She says, no, I'm getting tired. Leah runs over, looking like she's been crying. Joshua apparently asks her out. She said yes, of course. And then she's like, could this night get any better? Yeah, basically everyone's just like catching up. Everything's going perfect because what else were we expecting? Could this night get any better, I thought. Hey, Naomi, Nicole asked, walking over. I looked at her. Yeah? I asked. I really like your friend Brian, she said. I smiled. He likes you too. Did you two have fun? I asked. She nodded. I'll be at your show tomorrow and I'll be sure to vote for you, Nicole said. You can vote for anyone you want. Doesn't matter to me, I said. But I want to vote for you. You made me feel like a real person tonight. Everyone usually ignores me at these types of things, Nicole said. That isn't very nice of them, I said. I'm used to it, she said. How would you like a front row seat? I asked. I would love it, but I can't, she said. Oh, why not? I asked. I have a stand where I'm selling my book, she replied. The gears started turning in my head. Laptop, morbid mind, no friends, book, monster. The light bulb went off in my head. I screamed. No way! No way! I yelled. Nicole looked shocked. What? She cried. You're N3! I yelled. Nicole smiled. Yeah, that's me, she said. Oh my gosh, hang on 1 second, I exclaimed. I bolted across the room and slid into a wall. Geez, Naomi, slow down. What's the rush? Masky asked. Nicole, book, I managed to spit out. What? Masky asked. I grabbed his arm and dragged him back to where Nicole was. I took a deep breath. She's N3! I yelled. Yeah, I know, Masky said. My mouth dropped open. And you didn't bother to tell me? I cried. Sorry, I wanted you to find out for yourself, he said. Guys? Nicole asked. Yeah, I asked, looking at her. She pointed to her eye. What? I asked. She pulled out a handheld mirror and gave it to me. I took it and looked at my reflection. My scars were starting to reappear. You can't tell anyone who we are, I warned. I've known who you were this whole time. Where do you think I get my book ideas? One of my characters is based off of you, Naomi, Nicole said. Oh, that's real sweet, I said. This is like beyond meta. I'm writing a book, or I'm writing a story with a self-insert character, and then I'm inserting myself into a story about my self-insert character, and I'm saying that I'm writing a story based off of, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's like meta. Naomi, time's running out, Masky said. I'll see you later, Nicole, and thanks for keeping our secret, I said. She nodded. Masky and I bolted for the front door. Everyone was outside. Gosh, guys, cutting it a little close, aren't we? Ben asked as we got in the limo. Sorry, I said. Where were you guys? Sally asked. Probably kissing, Toby said. Kendi threw her shoe at him. Shut up, Toby. Ouch, sorry. What are your shoes made of? Metal? Toby asked, rubbing his arm. He pulled on his orange goggles and his mouth guard to hide his scarred mouth. EJ was back and he had his mask on. Tomorrow's going to be even better than today, I said. You'll definitely win after the stunt Grace pulled tonight, Ben said. Hoodie sighed. What's wrong, dude? Masky asked. I miss Nicole, he said. You'll see her tomorrow, I said. His face lightened up a bit. Did you ask her out? Masky asked. Hoodie shook his head. I was embarrassed too, he said. I looked over at Jeff, who still had a bit of blood on him. Thanks again, Jeff, I said. He nodded, but didn't say anything. The limo door opened and Lou hopped in. And then Naomi, leans against Masky, said that she's tired. Hey, who's driving this thing, I asked. Slender Dad, EJ said. Oh, cool. Slender Dad, the chauffeur. Awesome. Everyone ate the cupcakes we made. EJ had 10. Yep. All right. I think I might make a separate video. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make a separate video for the rest of the story. All right, so filler chapters, working up to the end of the story, which is very close. Very excited. There's like a couple chapters left. Yup. that is the bad fanfiction reading for today. Nothing too much to comment on aside from the fact that it is meta as fuck. So yes, I think I'm going to record the next bit of this because it is the ending. I'm going to record that after I finish up with this, and I'm going to post them. I'm going to post like this one, you know, like when you're seeing it, and then I'm going to post the next one like a day after, so you don't have to wait, because I don't really like waiting for things, and I am, like I said, I'm very eager to get this done. So this video isn't as good as I wanted it to be, but filler. So yes, this is the filler chapter before the band battle. Nothing really new happened. I'm just rambling. Stay tuned for the thrilling, shocking, action-packed finale of this story. I will see all of you in the next video. Like I said, thank you for staying with me this whole time. Love you. Bye!